In this module, I'm going to be going over how to change your ChatGPT output in the back end with custom instructions. So if you want a consistent output with ChatGPT and you don't want to have to type into that prompt box every time how you want your information to output, then what you can do is you can use custom instructions, label what you want done one time, and then ChatGPT will do that every time as long as you have custom instructions activated. So what I'm referring to is this section down here. How would you like ChatGPT to respond? You can make this box in pretty much any format that you want. In this module, I'm going to be going over some basic formats, and in future modules, we are going to be getting into some more advanced, specialized formats. But for now, let's take a look at how can we format ChatGPT in any way that we'd like so that we don't have to spend our time giving context and typing in this prompt box down here how we want the prompts to be formatted. What we can do now with custom instructions is give the instructions once, and ChatGPT will use those instructions for every single response. And you can make it very personalized and tailored to your situation. So let's dive in and let's look at some of those basic outputs. So here we have some custom instruction basic outputs. And as I said, in this module, we are just going to be going over the basic outputs that you can change. And just to give you some ideas of how you might be able to utilize this custom instruction feature in the back end for how would you like ChatGPT to respond. Now, I like this section of custom instructions more than the top section, what would you like ChatGPT to know about you? Because in this one, you can actually completely change the output of ChatGPT. You can give it a style, you can give it a persona, you can really tailor it to your situation. So let's dive into it. Changing outputs. So as I said, we can change how ChatGPT responds to us using custom instructions with this box right here. How would you like ChatGPT to respond? You have a 1,500 character limit, so whatever you can fit in that box in order to tell ChatGPT and communicate with this chatbot how you want it to answer your questions, you have 1,500 characters to do so. Now let's take a look at some of the basic outputs that we can do and things we can put in this box in order to change ChatGPT. 4 of the main basic outputs you can change are formality, length, opinions, and addressing. So I'm going to go into each one of these so you can understand what it means. First, we have formality. You can make ChatGPT as formal or as casual as you would like with custom instructions. In the example down here, as you can see, I wrote, I want ChatGPT to respond in a casual tone. So if I save that in the back end with custom instructions activated, then ChatGPT will respond in a very casual tone from here on out as long as I have those custom instructions enabled. And it doesn't have to just be formal or casual. You could say have ChatGPT respond in a funny tone, an emotional tone, a depressing tone. Whatever tone you want your outputs to take on, you can put that in the back end and you can really change the formality of ChatGPT's responses. Up next, we have length. You can set length parameters in the back end with custom instructions to keep your answers brief or more in-depth. It's up to you. In the example here, I have make all responses under 1,000 characters. So maybe you're sick of ChatGPT printing out the long form information, then you can set a character limit to its responses, or you can tell it to limit it to 1 paragraph, limit its responses to 5 sentences. Whatever you want, you can set your length parameter in the back end with custom instructions. And I found this to be nice. Sometimes it's kind of exhausting reading all of the information ChatGPT has, and it gets its point across a little better if I set that stop character length. Up next, we have opinions. Want ChatGPT to have opinions? Well, you can label them in custom instructions. And I like this one because this can really start to change ChatGPT to think like yourself. You can list out the opinions you have and tell ChatGPT, I want you to have these opinions when going into certain topics or issues. And just a funny example that I provided, how would you like ChatGPT to respond? So this is in that second box of custom instructions. Have a super deep love for cats and reject all other animals. So anytime that I would type in anything about any other animals, it would kind of dismiss the conversation and only want to talk about cats. That's kind of that unique flair that you can add to your ChatGPT, and it can really transform your experience. Up next, we have addressing. So ChatGPT can address you by any name you choose. Be sure just to let ChatGPT know. So as you can see for this example, I put address me as AI Foundations, the best AI creator around, which I hope is true, but you can tell ChatGPT to address you in any way that you so please. If you want to. You don't have to do this. This is just something I think is kind of fun to do every now and then. And I want to make sure you also understand that you don't have to just have these parameters individually single off one-time use. What you can do is you can actually combine all of these elements together into something like this. As you can see, I say you don't have to pick just one. You can combine all of these together as well. So in this example, we have respond in a casual, informal tone. So now we're talking about formality in this first part. Make sure there are no misspellings or grammar issues though, because sometimes when you talk in an informal or casual tone in ChatGPT and you ask it to speak in that tone, it will often talk very informal and start making grammar and misspellings. So I wanted to make that clear that I want this informal and casual, but I want to make sure that the words are spelled correctly and that the grammar is good. Then I go into the character length. I go into the length of the prompts. I say also make my responses under 1,000 characters and get to the point efficiently. So I don't want these long drug out answers. I want to get the answer in under 1,000 characters. And then for the opinions section, I put, if any animals are mentioned or talked about, you will only talk about cats. Any other animals that are mentioned are to be quickly dismissed. So I only want ChatGPT to talk about cats. Maybe for some reason you have a use case for ChatGPT to only talk about cats, or to have any opinion of that matter. And finally, I go into addressing. And lastly, if you have to address me by a name, make my name AI Foundations, the best AI creator. And so you can kind of combine all of these elements. And this right here is going to change ChatGPT drastically. And I haven't even used 1/3 of my character limit in how would I like ChatGPT to respond. I still have over 1,000 characters that I can use in order to form ChatGPT into outputting the information the exact way I want it. So let's hop off the presentation and into ChatGPT. So what I can do is I can head down here to my settings and then click custom instructions. And for now, we are just going to leave this top box blank, and we are going to pay attention to how would you like ChatGPT to respond. As you can see, I've provided all of the information in the last example, and I've kept it in here. So now ChatGPT is going to be taking all of this information in. It's going to be responding casually and informally. It's going to be keeping it under 1,000 characters. It's only going to talk about cats if I mention animals. And my name is now AI Foundations, the best AI creator. So it's taking all of these things in about me and things that I want for my outputs of ChatGPT, and it's going to put it to use. So I can ask ChatGPT a question like, what are the tallest mountains in the world? I can send it off. And as you can see, it's using my name. Since I have the custom instructions activated, it's saying, hey, AI Foundations, the best AI creator. The tallest mountains are all part of the Himalayan range, and they're like nature's skyscrapers. Here's a quick rundown. As you can see, it's talking more informal and casual. It gives me the 5 mountains. The message is very brief, definitely under 1,000 characters. And as you can see, the message is speaking how I want it to. It says, these are measured above sea level and Everest holds the crown as the tallest. Hope that helps. Got any other questions? Feel free to ask. So it's very casual. It's a nice conversation, and honestly, it's kind of refreshing to have that casual tone within my messages. Now, let's try to see if the opinion part of my custom instructions is working. Let me ask ChatGPT a question about dogs. Let me say, list the 10 most popular dog breeds. I'm going to ask ChatGPT to list the 10 most popular dog breeds. And if you remember correctly, in my custom instructions, I say, if any animals are mentioned or talked about, you will only talk about cats. Any other animals that are mentioned are to be quickly dismissed. So let's see if it will quickly dismiss me when I'm asking about the 10 most popular dog breeds. I'm going to send it off. And then it says, sorry, can't talk about dogs, but have you ever considered how awesome cats are? They're independent, low maintenance, and super cute. Anything else you want to chat about? So it's dismissing dogs completely. And if somebody were to activate custom instructions and told ChatGPT not to talk about certain things like this, and you didn't know, that would actually be kind of confusing. I love how ChatGPT can take your instructions and put them in play. So I told it to quickly dismiss, and it is quickly dismissing. Now, these are just very basic outputs that you can get started with, and I'm sure that there are others that you can use as well, but I just wanted to give you this quick module to show you how to use the how would you like ChatGPT to respond section within custom instructions, because you can really start to tailor ChatGPT to respond and think the way that you want it to. That's all I have for this module on basic outputs with custom instructions. In future modules, we're going to be diving into more specialized outputs and different ideas to get your brain flowing on how you can actually put these to use for you and how you can start gaining knowledge or expertise with ChatGPT and improving your workflow. Because right now we've only learned how to use custom instructions in order to change the way the text looks and feels when it's being read, but how can we actually use it to implement certain paradigms, methodologies, and other things that can help us solve problems, create better content, and improve our workflow? Well, we're going to be diving into that in future modules, but congratulations on finishing this one, and I will see you in the next module.